time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that can hear the sound of my voice to this week's edition of the Petty and Unimportant podcast. I totally remembered about the time difference and was ready to go, on the correct time because,
Yeah,
Gabby reminded me a bunch of times. So, I totally remembered
yeah,
about it.
totally. I
And
didn't have to remind you at all.
Vicky didn't have to remind me 5 minutes ago or anything.
No, not at all.
We were good
Such a
to go.
beautiful cake. I really want that. What's on top? Is that walnut?
Walnuts, yes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my pièce de résistance, the magnum opus of my cake building skills. This is a 5-tier Russian royal cake. Why did I make this? Because bigger elephants can always understand smaller elephants. Basically, what happened was I saw it and challenged myself to make it. Now, obviously, it looks like shit. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not exactly professional standards of cake, but it is a 5-tier cake and it tastes absolutely delicious, and I'm pretty damn proud of it. So,
What's the flavor profiles on a royal cake or whatever the fuck this is? Like, is it vanilla-y? Obviously, you got some walnuts going on, but like, what else is
okay.
going on?
So, to make the cake, one must begin with eggs and sugar.
You don't say.
Yeah, da, 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 da. Once the
Flour too?
eggs and sugar are whipped together until they are pale yellow and fluffy, add some flour. Once the flour is added, it should become a little doughy. It's supposed to be not like as moist as other cakes. Once that's done, set it to one side. You take some sour cream, a teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda, and a teaspoon of vinegar. Put them together. It fizzes up. Add it to the sour cream. Mix it together. The sour cream should start to rise. Add that to the flour, sugar, and eggs mix. Mix it all together really nice. And that's your first layer. Add cocoa powder to that first layer. Do that again with poppy seed and do that again with walnuts.
That sounds delicious.
Once
It
you've
looks
made
delicious too.
3 big cakes, cut them in half horizontally down the middle. So you end up with 6. It's supposed to have 6 layers. I lost a layer. One of them broke. It's not perfect. But once you've got your cake, your layers all sorted, then you make the icing. You take condensed milk and butter. You have to get the butter to room temperature so it's like not completely melted but pliable. So you can put it in your hand and squish it, but not so it like just melts. Then you put the butter in the condensed milk. The condensed milk has to be cooked beforehand. I used a slow cooker. It took about 4 hours. You add them together at room temperature. You take a whisk, an electric whisk. You beat it until it's fluffy and thick. Then I put it in the fridge for an hour. Pulled it out. It was nice and cold and had set a little bit. It can't be too set, or you can't move it because of the butter, obviously. And then you just ice it and then pour walnuts over the top. And that was it. It was difficult, not gonna lie. I've made more complicated cakes during. I got into baking during the pandemic, during lockdown. Uh, I made a rainbow layer cake once. Sorry, 1 second.
He's gonna sneeze for 20 minutes now.
Okay,
That's
I made a
probably why.
rainbow layer cake for my mum's birthday one year,
Mhm.
which was like 7 layers, each a different color. That was way more complicated than this. But at the end, I was just like, I saw this cake. I can't remember. It was a TV show, I think. And I was like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to make that. And I made it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Let's see. Tom and Kevin probably won't be joining us because they think the show's an hour later than it actually is.
Of course.
Because
It's
I
just
totally
how-
remembered and they forgot. And that's how we're remembering this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we're remembering this. They totally forgot. Did you message them and be like, hey, BT
Yeah.
dubs, guys?
Hey,
Oh,
remember,
it's like 3
guys.
minutes ago. Hey, remember, guys, in 3 minutes we have a show.
I was reminding myself all week as well. I can't believe I forgot that.
Aren't you glad my alarm went off?
Yep.
I was asleep. My alarm went off and I went, oh shit, the podcast is in 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, Nikki had to tell me, and I was like, "What? No, we've got an hour before the." And I was like, "Oh shit, the time
He's like,
difference."
Gabby's been telling me all week.
Yeah,
Gabby,
yeah,
you
yeah.
were right, and he forgot. His secret autism power is not being able to tell time properly.
Speaking of Gabrielle, she hooked me up with an interesting story that's going to
Oh,
put you and me at odds.
okay.
Yeah, we may be fighting after this.
Okay, what's the story?
The mayor of her town wants to build a marijuana shop where the largest bald eagle roost is.
Okay.
So, yeah. I
This is
assume
about
you're going to be in favor of the marijuana shop.
well,
That
I
was
mean, if it's going to be destroying, like trees that eagles are resting in, nah. Otherwise, if not, who cares? Is that what they're getting at? Is that they're going to like take out all these nests and stuff and build
yeah,
a
they're gonna knock down the largest bald eagle roost and build a marijuana shop.
well, they're stupid, but no regulations. Woohoo! Aren't America like aren't the bald eagles like I don't know endangered or are they not?
Well, I remember when I lived in America, so that was like almost 20 years ago. There was this bloke in Alaska that wanted to kill bald eagles because there was like so many of them and they kept
Mhm.
harassing his cats and stuff. And he was interviewed, and the person interviewed him was like, "Is it okay to call you an enemy of America?"
Wow. Yeah, I'm with Gabby. Like, I thought they were severely protected. So why would
They
it be okay to like?
they were in the 70s and 60s because they were on the verge of extinction. There weren't many of them left, and now they've rebound,
They're
rebounded
no
from that.
longer considered endangered. Yep, they were
They're
released.
least
They were
concern.
moved from it in 2007. So yeah, they don't care. They're like,
They're
yeah,
officially least
fine.
listed as least concern. So they're doing fine. Condors are actually doing okay these days. When I was a kid, they were all but dead. But they're doing pretty
Well,
well at the moment.
I mean, if they're not endangered, we do far worse to far more endangered species all the time, I guess. That still
Did I
doesn't
ever
make
tell you
sense, though.
about condors being a biological anachronism?
No.
I find that fascinating. Well, I'm a big bird guy. I like birds. It is known about me. And California condors are a biological anachronism. Do you know what that is?
Mm, no. Like, is that kind of like how the new roly poly, like, whatever they're called, like those prehistoric animals that are still alive?
Yeah, like horseshoe crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an animal that should have gone extinct but hasn't. California condors should have gone extinct because they used to feed on megafauna, and there is no megafauna left in New America, really. So they survived by living on coastlines by eating washed up dead sea animals.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
Gabby, that's correct. I lived in Colorado for 5 years and I saw one bald eagle in a nature preserve.
Okay, so yours wasn't out in the wild either. I've only ever seen them in zoos.
Well, no, it wasn't the wild. Nature preserves are wild areas.
No, yeah. That cake looks so good. I want to eat it.
It tastes really good if that makes you feel better.
Uh,
I'm really happy with that. I'm really proud of it. So it's going to stay
it
there for
should
the
be.
rest of the show.
That's fine. That's acceptable.
It's like you see something pop up on TV
Hmm.
and you're like, no, I could never do that. But then all it takes is, just a little bit of willpower and you can produce something that, while is not as good as the thing you saw on TV, it's still a reasonable facsimile.
See, that's the thing. Like, you should make the cake and I can decorate it. Then it would be pretty and delicious. But it looks pretty. It looks rustic. But it's still pretty. I would eat the hell out of it. I haven't made a cake in forever.
When was the last time you made a cake?
It's been a few years. It's been a few years. I made a pudding cake.
What is a pudding cake?
So let's say they're like you do a chocolate pudding cake. You would do your chocolate cake. You cook it. You let it cool. And then instead of icing, you use chocolate pudding that is cool to go over the top of the cake. It's very good. And it's pretty much the only way I'll eat chocolate cake. The problem is a lot of people don't want to wait for the cake to cool off or for the pudding to cool off, and they put it on a warm cake and the cake absorbs it and it becomes like, I don't know, like a brick o pudding.
A brick o pudding.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. You don't do that though.
Okay,
they have to both be cold.
Chocolate pudding cake. I'm googling this. This is happening. I want an image.
I don't know if if it's a thing that just my family does or not, but it's freaking delicious.
Oh, right.
It's just a chocolate, or if it's a vanilla cake, you put vanilla pudding over the top of it instead of icing. It's just pudding instead of icing.
It's a fudge cake. I got you.
Sure.
That's what we call it in England.
I don't really do chocolate pudding, chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake. I don't know what it is. I love chocolate, just not in those particular forms.
I gotta make you, next time I see you, I'm gonna make you a sticky toffee pudding.
Ooh.
Or get you a sticky toffee pudding. I can make them.
Delicious. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good.
It's so good.
Is it like a bread pudding?
Oh no, it's not like a bread pudding. It's how to explain a sticky toffee pudding? Right. So it's sticky and it's toffee.
And it's pudding.
It's pudding, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That really, you guys call everything pudding, right? So like, I don't know, is this
That's our word for dessert. Yeah.
Okay. So everything that's the dessert is pudding. So that's like a 5-layer pudding. Yeah, what's up? Mm, good old 5-layer royal pudding right there on that picture.
No, it's a Russian royal cake.
The
Okay.
Russian royal pudding cake.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
But yeah, I haven't baked a cake in forever. I should though. I can bake.
Everyone
I
should
just
make cakes.
well, my thing that I want to try making is macarons. Like I know they're very hard to master, but man, if you can master them, at least in the US, they're like $3 a cookie. That's $1.50 a bite. I'm just saying.
Nikki eats some meat, Gabby. I can personally attest to that.
Yeah, I do.
I force it down.
All in all, we're just another brick in the wall.
What?
How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Is Pink Floyd another brick in the wall?
I
The
don't
end of
listen to
that
hip hop.
song. Oh, wow. I don't like you anymore. You're full of crap.
I don't listen to hip hop. Okay.
Pink Floyd isn't hip hop, okay?
Of course they are. They're called Pink Floyd and they've got song lyrics like that. Of course it's hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where that comes from. And every time I hear pudding or something like that, I always think of that man screaming at the end of the song. How could you expect to have any pudding if you haven't eaten your meat? Yeah, Pink Floyd is even British. That's why I'm not paying any attention to him. I know he's full of crap. He knows who Pink Floyd is.
So can we go back in time, like 20 years,
No, I
to
don't
when
think
we
that
were
that's.
in our 20s and you want some smokes? So you go to the shops
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, you can have a packet of Marlboro, packet of Luckies, packet of Camels, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Do you miss that sometimes? Because these days I go in to get a vape and I'm like, ooh, could I have the strawberry ice reuse disposable vape, please?
Yeah, and you're like, wow, how far I've
Yeah.
fallen since I just want Camel number 9s in the green box. Thank you.
Yeah. It just seemed easier when you
I
could
would,
go in and be like, I just want 20 Richmond, please.
yeah, but it's cheaper to vape. Like I went from spending like over $100 a month to spending about 30 when I
Yeah.
stopped smoking cigarettes. Every once in a while I'll pick up a pack and it will last me a couple of weeks, but not very often. You know, I don't really smoke cigarettes very often unless I'm just around it, in which case I'm like, ooh, that looks good. Otherwise, I don't just crave cigarettes anymore. I think that's a good thing. I do miss doing that though, but I do like the fact that I really enjoy vape flavors now. Like, you know, we used to smoke, well, I used to smoke menthol, but it still wasn't a good flavor, you know. Now I can smoke menthol in whatever flavor I want, like grape slushy.
Grape slushy.
That's what I'm smoking right now is grape slushy.
Yeah, that is the problem with vaping right there, Gabby, is it turns into a pacifier if you're not careful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Wait, Corn remade what? Oh, yes, I have. I've heard Corn's remake. I like So Richard's never really listened to Korn. We were talking about it because we watched Trainwreck, the Woodstock '98 film, and he's never really listened to Korn, which is sad. But yes, I have never listened to a single Korn song I did not like. I love them. They can remake whatever song they want to. I used to feel that way about Marilyn Manson too. He used to make some really good remakes, but you know,
We're not allowed to like Marilyn Manson anymore. Didn't he do some shit?
he is one of the few people I have blocked on Spotify because I refuse to give him money. There's an entire documentary about what he did to Evan Rachel Wood and some of the other women that he's been with. He is very, very abusive and manipulative and just not a good person.
Who is, though? Like, really?
Yeah, he sexually assaulted her while they were filming a music video. He drugged her up and raped her during a music video. I can't remember which one it is, but Evan Rachel Wood is in it.
It wasn't Sweet Dreams or The Beautiful People, was it?
I don't think so. No, it was one of his Dope Show songs, I want to say. But yeah, he was very, very abusive. I don't remember, like, it was one of the music videos that they couldn't show unless it was like past 10 or 11 o'clock at night because it was so explicit. No, I wasn't listening to him because I thought he was a good guy. But I didn't think that he was like super abusive. Like, there's a difference between like Rob Zombie. His music is very edgy, right? But he is like 100% a humanitarian and loves animals, and he's an activist, and he just happens to sing really songs. But he's not like one of those people. What happened on Dope Show stays on Dope Show. But yeah, he's one of the few. Him and R. Kelly. I don't let R. Kelly come on my Spotify either. I refuse to give him money. P. Diddy is harder because, you know, like, he's produced a crap ton of music. It's kind of hard unless you're just gonna ixnay a majority of like hip hop and rap to not be giving him some money in some capacity. So, yeah, I do boycott some artists depending. How do I feel on Drake? There has been nothing proven on Drake yet. Once there is, I won't listen to him. I mean, just because Kendrick says it doesn't mean it's real yet. You know, if it does come out that he has done some of the things that is said that he's done, then I will stop listening to him. I'll be sad about it because, like, who doesn't love Drake? But at the end of the day, you know,
Is Drake hip hop?
Drake is hip hop and rap.
Yeah, I don't listen to hip hop.
Yeah, he's the one who had a big thing like a year and a half, 2 years ago during the summer. Him and Kendrick Lamar got into it, and Kendrick ate him up and spat him out. It was devastating for Drake, and Kendrick fans were very excited.
Kendrick.
Yeah, ate his ass up. Correct.
Gary was going on about the halftime show at the Super Bowl being
that was great.
Thing.
That was great. You know, the people that didn't get it are the people that weren't going to get it. The people that were going to be offended, I don't know. Like, I think he did a good job. He had a few things to say. Yep, took it to the Super Bowl. We were all waiting, and every time it came up, I'd get super excited. And then it would pop over to something else and I'd be like, "Aw!" And then finally at the end, him just walking in. Actually, send a video. Let me see if I can send it to you. It was pretty funny. Let me see who I sent it to. I know I sent it to Purse because I wouldn't have sent it to you. You wouldn't find it funny.
Fucking Purse.
I know.
Tired of her and her home wrecking ways.
Yeah, she's the worst. Anyway, I just love the fact that they're superimposing him walking out and doing that part into like everything, all the videos.
Did you send it on Discord? Where did you send
I
it?
did it. I found it. It's on TikTok, so you won't have it.
Ah,
I'll
I
send it to
refuse
Gabby.
to use TikTok anymore.
You never used it to begin with.
I used it sometimes to check on certain locales, but
Well, I'll send it to Gabby. So they did a video of him walking out, but it's the JG Wentworth commercial, and it's hysterical. It's very funny.
it's just hysterical.
It is. I'm gonna send it to you anyway. It's an American. Were you around when they had the JG Wentworth commercials?
I do remember them, yes.
But yeah, they've discovered that him walking out is They discovered that him walking out is like the funniest thing, that they can put it to anything and it just makes it hilarious. Fine. I found another one.
Good work.
Aw. Anyway. Never mind.
Okay. So anyway, that was cool. Nice to see Kendrick representing. Not that I saw it. I didn't watch the Super Bowl because I didn't care about either of the teams in it.
I didn't either. I woke up, I checked to see if the halftime had started. It had. I watched the halftime and then I shut it off. I was literally only watching it for Kendrick Lamar. I didn't care about either team.
Speaking of TikTok, though, did you see that woman that was divorcing her husband because he booed Taylor Swift?
No.
This woman is literally divorcing her husband because he booed Taylor Swift.
Well, I'm just going to say it. I said it in the OR the other day. I'll say it again. I really feel like Taylor Swift fans are like middle-aged women who peaked in high school.
God damn.
So it would make sense to me because they're like rampant fans. Like she doesn't have just regular, oh, Taylor's okay fans. Like her fans are insane. They're as crazy as she is. Like, and she's not the most sane girl. She's close to our age and she's still writing song lyrics as if she was like a teenager in high school instead of a grown-ass woman. But when a woman tells me that she's a Taylor Swift fan, I immediately get a very specific thought in my head and I judge. I judge hard. It's not like I'm talking about her big fans. You can like some of her songs, whatever. But her diehard fans are freaking weird, dude. They're weird. There's no being in touch with reality. They're not at all. So it does not surprise me that one of them would, be like, fine, you don't love my Tay Tay. I want a divorce. Can't
I
imagine.
feel like that fans in general these days are a lot more psychotic than they used to be of
Oh,
anyone.
absolutely. I
Like
agree.
Dream stands are insane. People that like Dream
Hmm.
on YouTube, they're insane. Fans of like, well, I like anyone, and like they're not always proper fans. Like there was that dude that really liked that musical star, so he shot her,
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
and I was just like, that's not how you be a fan of someone.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know. I don't think everybody has fans like that. Like, you know, um, say for instance, Dave Matthews. I'm a big Dave Matthews fan. I've seen him in concert many, many, many times. And I remember the first time I saw someone with the Dave Matthews tattoo, I was like, wow, I thought I was dedicated. I'm not that dedicated. They had a fire dancer tattoo. Anyway, his people, like his fan base, are really amazing. And there are some celebrities who have just a really, even, though they're kind of rabid, like a really decent fan base because the musician kind of brings that out in the people. Like Dave Grohl. When's the last time you heard about a Foo Fighters fan like just going off their tits? Probably never. I mean, Dave Grohl is very chill and he's very honest about being chill and open about stuff. And I feel like his listeners, like his big fans, are pretty chill people. So I think it depends on what it is. Like, obviously, you can be obsessed about anybody or anything, and there's going to be unhealthy. But I think some artists have unhealthy fans just by basis of who the artist is.
100%.
But Taylor Swift stands can be a bit much, and I think it's just because I don't think any of them are living in reality. And I'm not talking about the tweens and teenagers, like that makes sense. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
grown women in their 30s and 40s and upper 30s or 20s. Like that group of people that are Taylor Swift fans are a bit questionable in the head.
I have never, you know, um, wanted to attack anyone because I was a fan of something though. Like I really like, oh, what's that game I like that nobody else does? Oh, fuck, I forget what it's called. There is a video game that I really like that
Hmm.
nobody else seems to like. I
Okay.
enjoy every aspect of it. I enjoy all of it, and I've never wanted to kill anyone because I like that game and nobody else does. God, it's gonna bother
Agreed.
me
Yeah.
now. I've got to figure out what this. I'm gonna go through my Steam library because I really want to know what the hell. I want to remember what it is.
A game that you
Call of
like
the
that.
Wild, the Angler. There we go. Nobody else seems to like that game apart from me.
Is it a fishing game?
It's a fishing game, yes.
So the bar is pretty fucking low, right?
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
fishing game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, like you can be a fan of something and not want to lose your mind every time someone says something negative about them.
yeah.
But Taylor Swift is one of those people like boo her, and others like her fans have a visceral reaction.
But she's a nepo baby. Like she didn't earn anything.
You can't convince them of that. Like I've had this conversation with some of my surgeons and some of my nurses because we have a few nurses who are big Taylor Swift fans, and you know, I'm one of the few that will stand up and be like, yeah, she's not that great. Like I probably could be a billionaire too if my daddy bought me a radio station, you know, and booked and sold out all of my venues before I was even famous. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, she's a nepo baby. She didn't earn anything.
Right. It's not like she was like Jewel, who went out to California or wherever the heck she went and lived in her van with her mom. Like, just lived in the car with her mom and busked until she was found. Like, Taylor Swift didn't, sure, she was performing at a young age, but she was raised to perform and to be that child.
Yeah, worse than JoJo Siwa.
I mean, I would say that I don't know about personality wise. I don't think that Taylor Swift would allow the bad publicity of doing a lot of the stuff that JoJo Siwa has been caught doing.
I just feel really bad for JoJo Siwa. Like, I know she's a lolcow at this stage, but I just can't bring myself to hate her. I just feel so bad for her.
Yeah, but there comes a point where, okay, yes, you're being raised a certain way can affect how you respond, right? But she's an adult now, and it's up to her to get the help she needs to move past the trauma so that she's not traumatizing children. Like, I'm sorry, you had a child whose surgery like bust open and she was bleeding in the middle of practice and you told her to clean herself up and keep going. That's not someone I feel bad for. You're an adult. Like, that was done to you, sure, but you know how it felt when it was done to you. Don't do it to other people. It's like Lizzo making fun of her dancers, her backup dancers, and fat shaming them. Lizzo would eat that whole cake in one sitting. Well, why does she have any business fat shaming her dancers? JoJo Siwa did not like the abuse that she went through on Dance Moms or whatever the crap it was that she was on, but she's subjecting children to just as bad, if not more than, or worse than what she had to deal with. At some point, you have to stop feeling sorry for them and realize, she needs to learn from her shit. You don't get to just reinvent yourself and put on some makeup and say that you're a new JoJo. You need to apologize and make amends for what you've done.
Yeah, okay, I get all that. I really do. But she was like made. She wasn't like born. She wasn't raised. She was made. And it's I just feel really, really fucking bad for her. Because she's not a human being, she's a product.
Well, but there are other children who were raised the exact same way and aren't doing the same thing. Look at Ruby Frankie's daughter, who's going to Congress and the Senate and standing up for children that are part of family vlogs because she didn't like what had happened to her. She's not out doing her own family vlog and continuing the abuse. Like, you can learn from it. JoJo just needs to seek therapy and apologize, and then she can have her career back, but she needs to be honest first. Like, I don't think JoJo is beyond help. I think that if she were to get help and apologize, people would accept her back pretty quickly. Because we get it. Your mom was sucky. Your family was sucky. Your dance career was awful.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a mum. It was everyone.
Everyone
in her life just failed her and pushed her into being a product. And I get that she's a joke. And I watch her stuff on the lolcow channels and I laugh. I'm not gonna lie. She is a lolcow.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for her. Like, it's not like Dark Side Phil or Boogie 2988 where I'm just like, you deserve everything you get.
Right.
It's just like, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah,
she kind of help.
But the older she gets and the more she continues to act like she's acting, the more she's going to get a bad response. Whereas if she just took responsibility, said, I screwed up, come back, and just be herself. I think people, but you're right. She's a brand. She doesn't know what it is to be herself. She's never been able to be herself.
She's not. She's not a human. She's a product, and it makes me sad. Brad Smith, you get out of my chat until you stop posting pictures of your incredibly cute sugar glider babies. You are not welcome here. I'm so jealous of that man. It's not even funny.
I love a good sugar glider. They're beautiful babies.
Yeah, but he's got actual sugar glider babies hanging off his hand, gliding and giving him
Hmm.
fluffles and stuff. I'm so jealous. It's not even funny.
Yeah, they're super cute. But I heard they're not like the best pets. Like I heard they're not very social. I have a
Well,
cousin who raises them and breeds them.
well, Tasmanian devils, right, when they're
Hmm.
babies, are super fluffy and super sociable. But when they get to a certain age, they don't want anything to do with humans anymore. And
Same
I
with
respect that.
raccoons, unless you
Yeah.
get them like neutered or fixed, like spayed. Once they hit puberty, they're like, nah, screw you guys. Like we were cool cuddle muffins for a while.
Why do I live in England? Because, Gabby, if I lived in America, I used to live in America. So, yeah,
He
I
doesn't
don't know.
want to pay like out the balls for insurance and food and housing and taxes.
I'll tell you that. Oh, okay. I'll tell you why I like everything American, Gabby, but it's a really pathetic story. So I'll tell you in private.
Oh wow. No, I'm curious.
I'll tell you in private as well.
Cool. But
Tap, tap, tappity.
I'm not tapping nothing.
Uh-huh.
You're clicking your mouse, but I'm far away from my keyboard. I'm not even within 6 feet of my keyboard. Nana 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 frickin' boo boo.
There's a lot of boo-boos going on there.
Yeah.
You a weeb for America. You can't be a weeb for America. That's the opposite of a weeb. That's a ebe.
He does like America.
I got a vegan nail polish. I found this really funny meme that I sent to Tom about vegans. I see I still got it. No, not that one. That one is funny, but that's the wrong one. That's the picture of me and you. There it is. Okay. See,
That's right.
I like to send Tom memes like this, just to remind him
That we eat meat.
that we eat meat and he is inferior to us because of that.
That's right. You kept the family together
Exactly.
in the family bucket.
I hate people that are like that, like, oh, you're a murderer because you eat animals. No.
I have some
Which,
vegans that used to do that to me, and I just got to the point where I'd be like, animal carcass. So good. The flesh of my enemy. Love it. Medium rare, please.
I knew this woman who was like that, and every time she was like, you're the mother of that animal you're eating is crying tears, and I'd be like, I can taste the salt.
Right? The pigs see the other pigs being slaughtered and they're afraid. Good, because I'm going to eat them.
They should be, because I'm going to eat them too.
I don't know. I could go vegan.
I
I wouldn't
couldn't.
want to,
I
but
love
I
burgers
could.
too much to go vegan.
Mine's steak
Hmm.
or milk. Actually, milk products is my weakness. Vegan implies no cheese. That's dumb. No honey. Also dumb. No animal byproduct whatsoever. That's some of the best food.
Yeah.
I mean, all chorizo is, which is my favorite sausage, is like lymph nodes and like, you know, the other bits that people don't want to eat, just mushed up and spiced. It's great.
Chorizo.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I love it. It's my favorite.
It's too greasy. It's horrible.
It's delicious. Shut up.
It's greasy. It's horrible.
You haven't had it right. You're supposed to eat it with some eggs and some potatoes and onions and cilantro. It's so good.
Cilantro. That's called something else in England.
Is it?
Yeah. There's Gabby's nail polish anyway.
Ooh, that's pretty. Sorry,
Yeah,
gosh.
coriander. That's what cilantro is in England.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Flamingo pink.
I have a black cat who is demanding my attention.
Fat boy.
It is a fat boy. My good 20-pound boy. He's hefty. Did you do your own nails, Gabby? They look good.
Nikki's really good at makeup. I've seen her do it.
Nice. Yeah, makeup is like the only girly thing I'm really good at. Like, don't ask me to do my hair or anything like that. But my makeup, got it.
She's all over that shit.
I like it. But then again, I like drawing and stuff like that. So it's just another way of drawing or painting or whatever. Another one of my artistic endeavors.
She is artistic. What's the word? Savant.
I'm not a savant, but I am artistic.
You're pretty savanty. I'd say you're a savant.
Well, thank you.
Like the other day, you didn't know that the difference between that 50 was lower than 90, but you can draw really well.
Yeah. I used to be a lot better, and drawing is one of those if you don't use it, you lose it kind of things. But when I was a teenager and I worked in the mall, I would have 8 to 10 hours to dedicate to a piece. And I had some detailed pieces.
Yeah.
Now I just draw little cartoony things that take me, a minute, 2 minutes to draw.
But you're keeping your hand in the game.
Yeah, just a small amount, like nothing serious like I used to. I used to be very serious about drawing. Like I said, working 8 to 10 hours on one piece, but I don't know. I think it's more fun to just look at something and draw it and make it funny than to try to be serious with it.
Gabby is a pretty good drawer, to be fair. You should collab.
We should collab. I'll send you my latest table art. I take art whenever I get bored at work, Gabby. And sometimes these take a while, so I just, draw because I have nothing else to do.
Make an animated short.
I don't know how to do that.
Me neither.
I'm sure I
trying
could
to
figure it out.
Trying to imagine exactly what kind of short it would be from you and Gabby. Oh, here's Tom.
Oh, yay, Tom!
Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, as you know.
Yes, tell us about your victory.
Well, it's one of those cases of I was possibly going to talk about part of it at least in the show. It's one of those cases where you're talking about somebody during the week, and it's almost like enough. I'm agnostic, so I kind of believe in this sort of shit anyway. But it makes you think there's like some sort of forces at work or something, it's just something weird going on. But I was thinking about Sarah this week and reevaluating everything and owning my shit, as you know. And well, lo and behold, that she gets in touch for the first time in 2 years. And yeah, you've seen how it went. And yes, she stopped talking, at least for today, and probably for a lot longer. But yeah, that's it really. It's a little strange, but I just I did what I always do and make it clear that I'm the person she thought knew, the Tom she knew is long gone. Yeah, and she's lost interest and disappeared, at least for today, and I expect for longer.
Well, so, I'm glad that you stood up for yourself.
Yeah, thanks guys. It wasn't too hard. I didn't have to be rude or anything. But it's weird.
What's weird about it?
Oh, just that just how she. I think she can say, "Oh, I've still got all your stuff all around the house. I still love you," and it's like, no, it's just no thanks, but no thanks.
Are you humble bragging right now?
Not deliberately.
You're just over there like, this chick's totally still hung up on me. Yeah, I'm that great of a man.
I hope she isn't.
Everybody else can be like, oh my god, Tom, I wish I was you.
I wish she wasn't. If she is hung up on me, that's silly of her.
Right, it's been a couple years.
Yeah, move on with your life.
Yeah,
Nikki had to remind me because I was like, I don't even remember this. But once she did, I was like, yes, that woman.
Yeah. The one who you said was last time I mentioned her, you said, "Oh, yeah, God, she was bad for you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was, man. She was clearly in an inappropriate relationship.
Yeah. It just has that vibe. It has yeah.
But so, you cast her out. You said, "Not today, Satan," and you moved on.
Congrats. Proud of you.
Thank you both. Thank you. So how you guys been?
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. What are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, we're done.
Yeah, we're almost done.
What? So this was live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were live for an hour, Tom.
Well, the time zones must be out of sync or something.
Oh yeah, they are. They're out of
Daylight
sync.
savings time happened in America.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. I totally remembered. And I was ready to go on time. So,
Oh, I wasn't. Whoops.
Wow, Richard.
see
I've
what
seen
happened
it
there.
said live 55. I'm like, I saw it at the corner. I was like, what? What is going on? What is that is that counting down? Is that counting up? What is going on? I didn't get it.
Yeah,
So
we
whoops.
live.
So okay, listeners, sorry everybody. Yeah.
So it's only next week is the last time that we'll be an hour early, and then after that we get our daylight savings time. So,
Oh.
I told them they
yeah.
could have went
Well,
an hour
I forgot
late.
about that.
I'm the only
Oh.
American now.
Damn it, guys! You should have reminded me. I'd have been here on time.
well,
I'm
I
not.
remembered, totally remembered, and was
Yeah.
ready to go.
I didn't tell them 7 minutes before and was like, why don't we have a cast thing? Like, I was asleep. And then my alarm woke me up and I was like, hey, it's time for the show.
Oh,
No,
whoops.
I remembered before that. I was like all over this.
Well, I botched it well and truly, but never mind. It means I'll be able to get a jump on my work at least.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do tonight, but just stuff on my iPad for school. Yeah.
Well, Richard.
Well, I think that will wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many.
many.
And
It's good night from me.
Hopefully I'll be on time.
And it's good night from them. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.